Hi everyone, thank you for joining our Animal Care live Q&A. I'm going to now hand it over to our lovely lecturers to answer any of your questions.
Hello, my name is Lydia Bradwell. I am Curriculum Coordinator for Animal Management. So I also teach in the department, so my specialist area would be sort of animal training and behaviour. And outside of my job at work, I'm also a animal trainer. I'm going to pass you over to my colleague Laura now.
Hi everyone, my name's Laura Stone. I'm one of the lecturers in the Animal Care department. My specialist subject then would be animal nursing and animal behaviour as well. Outside of teaching, I am a qualified clinical behaviourist and a registered veterinary nurse.
Hi, I am Carly and I'm also a lecturer in the Animal Care or Animal Management department. I teach a lot on level 3 and I sort of specialise in breeding and genetics and welfare and ethics. Outside of college, I also trained in animal physiotherapy as well, so I can help you with any sort of rehabby questions that you might have, particularly about dogs. Pass you over to Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I'm the final lecturer on our animal management course chat today. My areas of specialism are exotics and aquatics, and my degree is in animal behaviour and welfare, teaching across all programmes of study. Nice to see you all today.
Okay, so we've got our very first question, and someone has asked, how many in a class?
It can vary depending on which course you're in. Level 1s, we have much smaller classes to be able to accommodate for everyone's needs. As we go up to level 2 and 3, it can vary anywhere between around 20 to 32. We try to have it as a cut-off. It's a very popular course, so there are going to be large lecture group sizes, but we'll try our best to accommodate any additional needs that you have. Going into HE, it then obviously can fluctuate between 10 to 20.
And what are the full-time entry requirements for the course?
I'll do level 3 because I've got it open. It's 5 GCSEs at grade 4 or C if you are on the old specifications or above. Lydia, do you want to do level 1 and 2?
Sorry, Lydia, I think you're on mute.
Sorry. Right, so level 1, if I start there, the entry requirements for that, we are looking for just a grade 3 in English for that one, and that is very much a very starting point for animal management. So if you didn't quite get your GCSEs you're after, that one is there. And if you just give me a second, level 2, I've just lost my sheet that I had it on. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, where the heck has that gone? Oh, found it, thank you. So the level 2, sorry, bear with me. We are moving on to the new spec for level 2 next year, which does mean a couple of changes. However, they're not massive changes. The assessments will change slightly for the level 2, so there will be an exam involved, just like there is for the level 3, and just like when you do your GCSEs and things like that. And I'm sorry, it's crashed, but it is opening slowly, so just bear with me. It's coming now. I'm sorry. I promise it is getting there. It's just, you know, it's typical when you need something quickly. It never happens quickly. Do you want to carry on and come back to me so we're not sort of sat waiting?
Yeah, somebody has asked, as I want to do animal care level 2, would I have to handle every animal as I'm scared of spiders and nervous around snakes?
So there is a sort of set animals that we need to assess you on. You don't have to handle everything like, you know, spiders and snakes. We have got ways around it. However, we do find that when people join us, they might be absolutely terrified of snakes or insects or whatever it is, but normally by the time they leave us, they're very happy and comfortable handling them. Belinda, our lecturer who does a lot of the exotics lessons with those types of animals, is very good at building your confidence and helping you and sort of going in baby steps to help you handle these animals that you were perhaps a little bit worried about. So we do find that by the time people leave us, they're absolutely happy to, well, I don't know about happy, but they're willing to handle these animals. And I have the level 2 information now, sorry about that. Level 2, you need 4 GCSEs at a 3 or above, or a D or above, including your maths, your English and your science.
And how many students tend to go on to veterinary nursing in the future, and subject areas, and what subject areas to help with this?
Laura, do you want to take that one?
I think Sam's quite keen on part of it. Certainly, I mean, I can talk about the nursing aspect, but I know Sam's had some success with getting some of his students onto the actual veterinary programme. With regards to vet nursing, a lot of people actually find whilst they are with us, they actually really enjoy the nursing modules and the health modules. So it is kind of hard to necessarily put a number on it, but we certainly do have a number of students that would then go on to either the degree in nursing or even on to level 3. Like I said, with the modules that kind of support this, we do have an animal nursing module, which obviously specifically looks at the kind of nursing aspects that you would be doing, and does cover the some of the criteria that's actually in the kind of nursing qualifications as well. There's modules such as animal health, animal biology, and certainly kind of other supporting roles. And there's a lot of great crossover in many of the modules that kind of do support different aspects of the nursing. So it is a really good course to really kind of give you that foundation to then support you when you do go on to that specific animal nursing qualification. I know Sam was quite keen, so I'll let Sam just pass you on about kind of in the veterinary way, if that's the way you want to go, because that's an option as well. So I'll pass you over to Sam.
Yep, so if you are planning on studying our level 3 extended diploma, we have 2 routes that you can choose in your second year, either the management route or the science route. The science route is what we encourage those that want to go more into the research and lab approach, and the veterinary approach has modules that are given that provide you with the skills required for the veterinary industry. Currently this year I have 16 people that have a conditional place on a university level veterinary nursing degree, and 4 onto vet med, so those that want to go on to be surgeons. And we have 3 modules in your second year on science route that help to lead towards this, which are practical science, animal metabolism and animal nutrition.
Just to add to that as well, we are in the process of, and I'm sure Laura can help out with this one as well, we're in the process of validating our own veterinary nursing programme. So we will actually be running that at the Brooksby campus in the very near future. So that's one to keep your eyes peeled for.
And that will be, just I'll add in there, that will be, we're looking at kind of doing the degree route with that one. So it'd be a great one to go on to kind of after you've done your level 3 and moved on to that. So it's a great progression route from the level 3 if you were to be doing that with us.
So our next question, assuming that we meet the entry requirements, are we guaranteed a place as it is a popular course?
I can take that one. So we absolutely can't guarantee anything. We like you put in the question, we are a very popular course. We do have large student numbers. Like Sam said earlier, you know, we have sort of 32 students in a class, but we have sort of 9 classes of 32 students. So we are a really very popular course. However, we do keep on adding to our classes. So if we have got you know, a large amount of people that want to come and we haven't got a group to put them into, we'll add a new group. So there's not necessarily a cut-off for us. We do just keep taking people on as much as we possibly can. We don't want to do it at detriment to the course and at detriment to the quality of teaching that we have, obviously. So there is eventually going to be a cut-off, but if you can get in nice and early with your applications, we are interviewing now, and we have been interviewing since September, really, for next September. So if you can get in with your applications, we can get you interviewed and we can get you on our list as being offered a place subject to your entry requirements. So that is the best thing to do.
And how are we assessed?
Assessment varies across the course. So the new level 2 program that will be running as from next year, that has a mixture of exams, written assessments, practical assessments, and so on in it. The level 3 program is the same, really: practical observations, written assessments, you know, portfolios of evidence that are gathered together, but also exams that are sent away and marked externally, a bit like GCSEs are.
And someone has asked, how frequently are assessments in level 3?
Anybody else want to jump in?
I can take this one. So written assessments, so assignments, portfolios go throughout the year. With usually portfolios, we start them off at the start of the year and they continue through with you collecting evidence throughout your practical sessions. You've then got the shorter assignments that, again, they're handed out just periodically throughout the year. So you could have a few assignments on at the same time. So you need to be able to juggle your work with that. And then the exams are usually at the end of the year. So your first year exams, welfare and ethics, is generally April, May time. And then biology is usually right at the start of June, at very end of May time. But throughout the year, you'll be doing mock practice questions on those as well.
So another question, I'm interested in the dog grooming course level 2. Is that something that you cover?
That is something that is done within the college. It doesn't fall under animal care anymore. It falls under a commercial aspect now. So it wouldn't be us as in animal care that you would apply to for that. It would be, if you look at the commercial courses available, you should find all the details you need for that there. There is a small element of grooming in our level 2 programs, but not to the extent that you would become a qualified dog groomer.
Someone has asked, if we are still under COVID restrictions in September, what will happen about the practice element?
So the practical side of things, hopefully we won't be in September. Hopefully we'll be somewhat back to normal. But if we still are under any type of restrictions, that's something that the college management team will have to make a decision on. There are ways around you know, being able to do practicals or potentially come in just for practical slots and things like that. So there will be ways around it, and you won't miss out on your practicals by any you know, way, shape or form. But hopefully that won't be the case. But that would be something that the college management team would have to decide on, how we can get you best done those practicals.
So another question, if you don't get the grade you need in maths and English, I know you can retake it. Is that the same for science, and do you need to pass all 3 sciences?
I'll carry on if nobody else wants to jump in. So yeah, English and maths, you can absolutely redo them. We don't currently offer the opportunity to redo the science grades. We were looking at offering GCSE biology, and that is something that may happen in the future, but currently we don't. We ask that you get a C or a 4 or 5 in your biology as an entry requirement, as an essential. Chemistry is also quite useful. We're not too bothered about physics, to be honest. But the other 2 sciences are more important to us, biology being the main one.
And so we've got our next question. Can you go on to do a level 3 animal management course after a level 2 equine course?
I'll just keep going. Absolutely. There are some elements of equine that fit in very nicely with animal management. So I can't see how you would not be suitable for the course, if that makes sense. A lot of the elements are going to be very similar. So you'll have an element of biology in there for your level 2, which you would have on our animal management level 2 as well. So I can't see that being a problem.
We've got our next question. I have GCSEs at the right grades to do a level 3 course, but I've never done any animal care course before. Would it be best to start on a level 2 in this case, or would a level 3 be okay without previous animal qualifications?
If you've got the required GCSEs and you've got the kind of correct criteria to meet the level 3, then there's absolutely really no need why you'd necessarily need to do the level 2. It's certainly what we do ask when we're doing our kind of interviews is we do really try and encourage you all to get some work experience in the field. I know it's a little bit difficult with coronavirus at the moment, but certainly having some work experience is generally what we ask anyone that does want to come onto our level 3. So it would just be the kind of similar concept with you. You know, especially as you've got kind of the summer or whatever, and I do know it's a bit difficult, but if you could just have a look around, try and get your foot in the door of some work experience placements, just have a little bit of experience that way. There's absolutely no reason from a kind of academic point of view why you shouldn't be able to go straight onto the level 3. If you've got the GCSE grades, then you'll manage perfectly fine straight on that level 3. We do have, you know, except their required work experience, we have many level 3 learners that haven't necessarily done anything else animal when they come to us, so you'll be, you know, you won't be at any disadvantage whatsoever. So just all we'd say is just have a look at getting at some work experience, as that will be asked in your interview, and yeah, go for the level 3.
If COVID is still a big thing in the summer, will we have to do the required week's work experience?
So we encourage as much as we possibly can for people to get the work experience, like Laura was saying. We have been giving people, we normally in a normal year, we give people up until October half term to get that 1 year's worth of work experience, 1 week's worth of work experience from their interview. We have been a lot more flexible with that, and obviously if you can't get anywhere, we're not going to expect that to happen. We would need a little bit of proof that you've been trying to find somewhere and you know, nobody's able to take you, because there are still some placements out there that are still taking people, and we do have a work experience coordinator who can help find somewhere as well if you are struggling. But at the minute we're being a lot more flexible with the required work experience.
And can you buy BMC polo shirts to wear as uniform? Is doing triple science at GCSE an advantage for the extended diploma?
BMC polo shirts, I believe on the website that is published on our website, where you get the equipment from, I believe they do the embroidering and stuff for you, but please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's there, and I'm sure we can get a link popped in the chat for you for that website. And triple science was the other question, wasn't it? Certainly that extra biology grade would be really helpful. It's not a necessity, but it would be useful.
I will just pop in on there and just add to what Lyd was saying. So with regards to uniform, when there is the practical element, so when you are doing a practical task at the unit, you will get a kit list before you start, but you will need to be wearing overalls and steel toe cap boots for those. So just be aware that, yes, polo shirts are great, but there will be a uniform for your kind of practical tasks, just kind of for health and safety, because we do have some larger animals on the unit, so just be aware that you will require some of those bits too for your practicals.
Okay, we've got our next question. I'm an A-level student in first year, but looking to drop and start level 3 animal management starting in September 2021. I am 17. Is this possible, and how does the funding work? I have read it is funded for school leavers, and my class does this. Thank you.
Because you are 17, it will be funded. We would just have to be a little bit careful with the with whether we signed you up for 1 year or 2 years, if that makes sense, and we'd have to just look at that separately to make sure you don't get stung with fees in your second year that you perhaps weren't expecting. But as you would only be 17 at the start, or even just 18 at the start of the academic year, that should all be funded for you.
Sam, did you want to add to
that? Just what Lydia said, really.
Okay, so we've got our next question. Do you cover anything in canine or feline psychology at all?
Yeah, as part of our biology unit, we have an introduction to neurology. So you can start to look at neurology as part of your nervous system studies in various animals. So you start to look at both canine and feline in that, as well as some wider animals. We also offer a range of short courses at Brooksby College that are offered as evening classes. These are additional to the course, so do incur cost, but we do an entire short course, which is a 6-week program dedicated to canine psychology.
Okay. Someone has. Oh,
sorry, to add to that as well, I think your behaviour module that you would do on level 3 would also have a bit of an introduction to that kind of thing in it as well.
Okay, someone has just asked, I'm just about to finish a current 2-year college course as I'm already 18. Is there any information on over 18s?
Depending on what sort of information you're after, it will perhaps be able to give you a little bit more details. Some funding may still be available if you're 18 in September. If you're over 19 in September, it might be a little bit different. But there is the advanced learner loan that can be sought out to help you with that. But also, if you've just done a college course, and presuming it's a level 3 college course, for example, then we do offer a foundation degree and BSc program as well, which would be then moving you up to level 4, 5 and 6. So do have a look on our HE information, so our higher education information. That might be more suited.
And how many practical sessions take place during the college week?
So it can be anywhere between none, depending if it's a bad week, to anywhere up to about 6 that you can have. We have 2 types of practical session. We have lab practical sessions, which are down in the laboratory, where you could be doing a range of things such as dissection, chemical reactions, using the fume cupboard, and looking at various things in the lab like that, as well as microscopy. And then we also have animal practicals as well, which are found in exotics and animal husbandry. So you can see they're usually about 2-hour sessions, and you'll have them usually on a rotation basis. So you can have anywhere up to 6 hours, but some weeks it might just be that you don't quite drop on and you only get 2 hours in the lab, or you don't get any. It kind of depends on the week.
So someone has asked, is there a place to get change into your overalls, and are they kept at college to put over your clothes?
Yep, so there is the changing rooms, obviously, with regards to the coronavirus at the moment. Unfortunately, for health and safety reasons, they are obviously restricted at present, but we do provide places for people. There is the toilets and things like that if they would like to get changed without it. Normally quite a lot of people just pop them on over their clothes anyway in the classrooms, but obviously if people would prefer to go somewhere private, there is the toilets, and normally there would be the changing room facilities. There are lockers as well, so there is the provision of lockers available to students to keep their belongings in, but it is very much a case of obviously make sure they are their responsibility at the end of the day to keep them safe as well. So
we've got our next question. Can I do a zoology course at university after this course?
Yes, you can. So I have currently about 9 students that are applying for zoology at various universities. It's good that you've got an idea in your head, but we do also encourage you to walk into the course with an open mind as well, so that the various different experiences that you have at the college will also shape the future career that you want to go into. So it might be that you're dead set on zoology at the moment, but once you've started working with invertebrates, you might want to become an entomologist. So it's important to always kind of keep an open approach to it and really research into what zoology is, because that is what a lot of students currently find, is that zoology is quite a lot more science-based than they first consider. So just make sure you do your research, but it's good that you have got an idea of a career prospect in the future.
Got our next question. I heard that there is a bus that can go around and pick up people for Brooksby. Is that true, or would you have to sort the lifts out yourself?
I think Lydia's speaking, but she's muted.
I was muted because my little girl came in to say goodnight. Right, so yes, there is absolutely a bus, and you'll be able to find more information on transport on the college website. So if you have a look on there, it will show you the bus routes on there and where they do pick up from. So do have a look on there. Then you apply to your local authority for your bus pass, I believe. So do look on the website, because all the information about transport is there for you to have a look at. But do it sooner rather than later. So same with the applications, you know, once you've got your place conditionally confirmed, then try and get your bus sorted as well, because they do fill up.
And what type of animals do you have?
Well, there's an absolutely massive range of animals on our animal care unit. We have currently got 2 buildings. We have the small animals building and the reptile building. The reptile building's more for your scary, slimy scaly, which is, you've got the aquatics room in there, which is where I teach quite a lot, along with the amphibians. So some of the fish that we've got are archerfish, pufferfish, a range of tropical fish, catfish. Amphibians, we've got things like a cane toad, my mind's going blank now, a newt. And then into the reptile room and exotics room, we have a range of invertebrates, including scorpions, tarantulas, and a range of stick insects, boa constrictor, carpet python, and a range of other snakes, corn snakes, and then a range of lizards as well as tortoises and terrapins. And then into the small animal building, we have a cats, staff kennels, so the staff bring in their dogs for you to work with, a range of rabbits, guinea pigs, and rodents, including chinchillas, hedgehogs, rats, mice, and hamsters. And then we also have a newly built paddock which has 5 fields in it. So we have a range of birds, so geese and chickens, as well as aviary birds involving canaries and other small birds. We also occasionally bring in birds of prey, and we've also got ferrets kept outside as well as a goat paddock, and we are always looking to expand our collection as well. So you will see some new species start to pop up.
And are you expecting any new animals, do you know?
Yes, so we're just in the process of having one of our outdoor paddocks refenced, ready for some new stock to go in, but I'm going to keep it all a surprise, so keep your eye on the college social media, and I'm sure that they will pop up on there when they're in. But yeah, we are certainly expanding currently and looking at getting some more exciting things for us all to work with. So yeah, keep your eye on that Facebook page.
So for our next question, do the students look after the animals in the facilities, and are there any clubs to get involved with during lunch times?
So do the students look after it? So certainly. So part of your practical sessions will be having you clean out, feed, handle, health check. So it is largely kind of the students that will do all the support and do a lot of the work with the animals. So it is very much hands-on. There is sometimes, as well as your practical sessions, you may have routine sessions. So like Sam was saying, there is a lot of practical opportunities to get around lots of different species. So you certainly will be able to kind of experience a wide range of stuff. There is clubs, there's kind of things that do pop up every now and again. So there's a few social activities. I'm sure my colleagues will be able to advise on more. But there is sometimes, if there's a particular interest in certain animals, they may do some kind of sessions on working with those animals. But I'll let my colleagues pass on some more information that they know.
If I jump in there, Laura. Oh, that was a weird echo. So We've been really restricted this year because of the COVID situation and trying to keep to class bubbles and that kind of thing. But one thing that me and my colleague were setting up ready for this year, and then we had to put the brakes on it, was a sort of a conservation and wildlife club. So looking at things like going out and building wildlife hides and habitats and stuff like that. Also an animal enrichment club, so getting together and making toys and puzzles and all different things for the animals that we have up at the animal care centre. So there certainly will be more of these things popping up, and I think Laura, I think you can probably add to this that we sort of had a sort of mental health support hub as well that we're trying to get up and running for our students too, because that's really important for us to make sure that that's catered for too. So yeah, there is lots and lots, but we are just, as everybody is, a little bit restricted currently.
So someone has asked, if you don't get the science grades you need, does that mean you can't go on and do the course that you want to do?
I'll carry on with this then. So I think if you don't get that biology grade, ideally we would want to put you on the level 2 program first to get you that understanding of the science, the biology at that level, before we pop people back up to the level 3. So what we would recommend is that you do the level 2 for a year, and then join our level 3 program the year after, just to make sure that it's not going to be too much for you to take on the science at the level 3 if you didn't quite get that grade. If it's only the case that perhaps you were a few points away from it, or it was some sort of odd circumstance around it, then we would consider that on a person by person basis. So it does very much depend on the situation, but generally speaking, if you haven't got that GCSE in the biology, we do tend to pop you on level 2 first.
Is there any equine included within the animal care courses?
So with this one, not so much. You might get equine elements in the various different modules like biology and behaviour, but in regards to practical stuff, there isn't really anything with, well, there's nothing with equine at all.
Someone has asked, do you breed your own animals?
Not always through choice. Currently our stick insects are reproducing at quite an abnormal rate, but we also offer the course. Well, we have an exam module in second year of your level 3 extended diploma, which is all about breeding and genetics, and this teaches you how to breed animals safely and in the correct manner in order to ensure health. So we do look at breeding animals theoretically, and then some of our lecturers do breed their own animals, such as Linda Bird, who bred her quails last year, and they will bring those in order to be able to teach you about them. But we don't necessarily always breed our own stock just for fear of inbreeding and other issues that can occur in captivity.
So do I need to prepare anything for the interview?
You can prepare. I would always say prepare some questions. It's always good to have questions, but in terms of actual preparations, just have a clear kind of idea of why you're coming to this course, really. We're all passionate individuals in this department. We all teach with passion, and it just makes it a lot more better if our students match that passion as well. So please just make sure this is the course for you. But other than that, no, you just need to bring your happy self.
I'd also just jump in and say perhaps have an idea of your predicted grades if you know them, or your working grades currently, just so we can have an idea of that as well, so we can advise you properly.
And do you offer an apprenticeship in any of the levels?
No, not currently, I'm afraid.
Are there any trips or visits on the course?
Currently this year, unfortunately, we haven't been able to, but there were quite a few plans to. So as part of aquatics, we were meant to go on 4 different trips this year, and myself and a colleague were also arranging a residential up to Edinburgh to see the various zoos and the estuary. So these are all hoping to go ahead perhaps next year, obviously ending COVID. As part of your various exotics and zoo modules, you'll also be visiting a range of zoos, and also we will try to encourage elements of perhaps agriculture as well, and visit a few children's farms and see how that works as well as visiting our own Brooksby farm to see how the various husbandry practices change through our department.
I will just jump in and say to that one, as well as going out to different kind of establishments, we also have a lot of people come in that do guest lectures and do some kind of real when they're out in the field. So we have lots of people from different animal organisations that will come in and will give us kind of real life talks about what it is like working in that environment. So as well as visiting out places, you get to kind of have a really good insight as well with different organisations when they come in and do talks for us. So.
And can I still do the course if I require additional learning support? Yeah. So that's no problem at all. Obviously, we part of the interview process when we do give you a call, we will just ask you a few questions about if you have any additional support requirements or anything that you've maybe had in your previous school, and that's just so that we can make sure that we can really cater for you and have everything in place for you. So certainly that, you know, we endeavour to try and put in place everything that we can to support you the best we can, and we certainly have a range of support staff and progress coaches, as well as point of contact. So we have student services, learner support, learner services. So certainly there's quite a lot of support available to anyone that does have any additional requirements, and we try and support you the best we can through those. So for another question, do we do work experience during the course?
Yeah, so when considering if everything goes back to normal and as it should do, if on your level 2 it's 150 hours, I believe, for the year, and then level 3 it's 300 hours altogether. So you'll do 150 in your first year, 150 in your second year. All places that go to do your work experience need to be risk assessed to count, and then I think Lydia mentioned earlier, we've got like work experience coordinators that can help you with that as well, and then you'll just log your hours throughout the year, and it's entirely up to you how you do it. The most courses are either 4 days or 3 days a week, depending on what level you go on to. So you've got 1 or 2 days during the week to be able to do your hours, or you can do it at the weekend, or if you'd rather do blocks over like Easter or the half terms, there's always that as well. But what we do say is to try and get it sorted before Christmas, so that you're not leaving it until the last minute, and you can make sure that you get those hours as soon as possible.
And how do I apply for the course?
So you should be able to apply for the course directly through the college website. So if you jump onto the website, and I'm sure we can probably put a link in the chat or something for you, you should be able to apply directly through there.
And where can this course lead to?
So we have students who lead on to numerous different things. So level 2 students tend to progress onto a level 3 with us or elsewhere if they want to. Level 3 students, they either progress onto university with us, so they do their degree on at Brooksby with us, or they go to a different university elsewhere and they do a range of things from, as Sam was saying, vet nursing, veterinary surgery, zoology, behaviour. It's really vast. Or people just go straight into employment, and they're working at places like the Dogs Trust, and they're working all over the place, anywhere animal related that you can really think of.
And not always animal related as well. I've got several students who are actually going on to psychology, human neurology, and microbiology as well.
And is there anything I can be doing to prepare for the course?
Yeah, so revise that biology. It's the most important thing. You can also start looking into ethical theories. As part of your interview, usually you can have it emailed across the types of modules that we have. so that you can start to research into those. Obviously, if you can get work experience still, then we would recommend that so that you know that this is the right industry for you. And then, yeah, if you have any questions, please just contact the college and we'll try our best to be able to answer as quickly as possible.
And how much can you earn in the animal industry?
That kind of depends on where you want to take it. Animal industry jobs are quite low in pay in general, just because it's such a competitive field. So zookeepers, if you're thinking of going into that kind of area, are quite low pay. If you're thinking of more the researchy background, or even pest control and things like that, you can earn upwards of 27k. And then obviously if you're going into vet surgery, it can be upwards of about 35k.
And how big are the classroom sizes?
As in physical classrooms, or?
We can do both.
Okay, so you can have, as I've said previously, up to 32 students in level 3, as well as level 2, and then around up to 15 students in level 1. In terms of physical classroom size, I'll pass it to Lydia.
They vary. We have classrooms of various sizes, all shapes and sizes, but when we have practical sessions, we tend to stick to up to 16 students in a session, because we don't want more than that with the animals involved as well. It's just too much for them. So we do tend to have smaller areas for practical sessions, but we have classrooms capable of seating, you know, in 35, 40-ish as well.
And are there any student success stories?
Lots. I probably can't think of any off the top of my head now though. Can anybody help me out? I mean, I have one example that I can think of off the top of my head is particular students of mine going on to do their master's degrees. So they've worked all the way up from level 2 and they've gone out at they've gone from us at level 6 and they're still going to level 7 and doing their master's degrees. So that to me is a huge success story. So Sam, have you got some you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, one of my students last year, Amy Cunard, is currently studying her vet med. Up until now, we haven't had that many managed to get onto vet med, but obviously Amy was our first and she's successfully still studying. And now we have about 6 that have just had offers through. I believe Lydia had a student get published last year.
Yeah, that's true. So we have a student who her final year dissertation was very well received by some companies that she used, and they published her, and she and 2 of my other students who were in her same class all got jobs together working at Waltham, which is the Pedigree Pet Food Nutrition Centre. So they're all still together, and it's quite sweet when they're all working there together. So you know, we have lots. We've got a student of mine from several years ago. I have been at the college that feels like forever. It's been 13 years this year. So a student from several years ago, she's very successfully working at Twycross Zoo still and has been for many years. We do have lots of lovely stories, but you tend to forget them when you put on the spot, don't you?
So what is college environment like?
The Brooksby campus is a huge campus. We're about 850 acres in total. A lot of it is just fields, and there's lots of sheep in there and stuff like that. But the campus is very open. We are in the countryside. There's not like a coffee shop just around the corner that you can nip out to at lunch or anything like that. We are quite remote, but we do have on site, you know, cafeteria, and we do have our own little coffee shop, and she does amazing cakes and cookies, makes them all herself. She's brilliant. So that's lovely as well. I don't really know, you know, it's a really lovely campus, and we're very fortunate to be able to work there. It's very nice in the summer when you can go for a little stroll in the gardens during your lunch break, which is lovely. And there are lots of advancements going on and lots of new buildings popping up, and you know, it's quite a thriving environment, I would say, at the minute as well.
and everyone's extremely friendly, and your security to us is paramount. So we also do have security guards as well to ensure your safety, so that there is no people that we don't know coming onto campus. We also implement a rule where you wear ID badges at all times so that you can be identified in order to keep you all safe.
And for the degree programs, what are the entry requirements?
It goes on UCAS points, so it is 70 UCAS points for our foundation degree. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, 70 UCAS points for our foundation degree. So it depends on what you've done before then to how many UCAS points you have got. If you're not quite there, but you're just about there, do still get in touch, because there are other options that we can look at. So, you know, if you're almost there with them, or you've been out of education for a while and you're coming back into it, you know, there are other options available if you want to join us for degree. So please do get in touch if you've got any queries about that.
Someone has asked, can I take a canine psychology short course alongside a level 3 animal management course?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. The short courses. Sorry, Laura, go on.
I should say yes. So the short courses run in the evening. So it will be in the evening. So you can certainly take that alongside your normal course. It's a couple of hours in the evening each week for the 6 weeks. So yeah, certainly take that alongside.
And what are the modules in the degree programs, and is it more theory based?
So there is a lot of theory in the degree programs. In our first year, we have quite a large practical module that does run throughout the whole of the year, which is your management and welfare module, where you are having a couple of hours every week on our animal care unit. Other modules that we have that are practical based are things like the animal training module, where you are training your own or our animals. Wildlife and conservation, again, is another practical module where I like to get everybody outside in their wellies and running up and down the river trying to find otters. So there are practical elements to it as well. I know in third year we have some practical stuff going on there as well. And then, as well as the animal practical side, we also have the lab practical side. So animal science is a lab-based lesson. So you'll be doing things like dissections in there. Nutrition, again, is a lab-based session. So there'll be practical elements to that too. And microbiology in third year is also practical based, but in the lab. So it's a bit of a range. I wouldn't say it's sort of a 50-50 split by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably something like a 20%, 80% theory session. So 20 practical, 80% theory, something like that. But also it does involve work experience, industry experience, and it is 150 hours for the 2 years on HE, which means you can, go abroad in the summer. So a lot of our students do tend to save up their pennies, and they jump on a plane and they go off somewhere lovely and do their work experience abroad, and that's great as well. So you can still be getting those employability and those practical skills in throughout your work experience as well.
And is any experience required to apply for the degree course?
So we have taken on people, we do take on people every year that have not done anything animal related. They've come in with sort of biology A levels, for example, and that's absolutely not a problem. We can do that. We do ask, just like we do for our level 3 and level 2 courses, that if you haven't got any animal experience, I do ask that people go away and do a little bit of work experience, just to make sure that the animal industry is an area where they want to work before they commit so much time and effort into the degree. But no, we absolutely will do and can take people on who have no current animal experience.
And what days of the week will I be in college?
That will depend on what course you're on, so which level, level 2, level 3, and which group you're in as well. So it will depend, which we obviously can't necessarily say now, but it's Monday to Fridays. Yeah, that will depend on which course and which level you are attending.
And that would be something you would find out at, when you come to enrol, you would find that out. But you're not in every day of the week. You normally have at least 1 or 2 days off during the week to do your work experience and your coursework and stuff like that.
got any more questions? No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Has anyone else got anything to say?
No, not at all. Just to reiterate the point that if you are wanting to join us, do get on to the website, do have a look at what courses we offer, and get your applications in for us as soon as you are able to, because we are interviewing already, and starting to offer those places out. So we don't want anybody to sort of miss out if it's really what you want to do. So get onto the website, have a little look at what we offer, and pop in your application form. And we look forward to seeing some of you in September.
I think we've got time for one more question. I read on the website there is an opportunity to go to Africa. What year can you do this?
That has happened in previous years. It didn't happen last year due to COVID restrictions, and whether or not we will be able to do that moving forward, we don't know, but that generally is something that happens in our higher education program. So rather than in our level 2s and 3s, it generally tends to be in our higher education program with the much more 18 plus students.
And what's the difference between animal care level 1 and animal care level 2?
The working level is the difference there. So your level 2 is equivalent to a set amount of GCSEs when you finished it. The level 1 is below that level, so it's a different amount. If you manage to get your GCSEs for your for the entry requirements for level 2, there's absolutely no need to be thinking that you need to go down onto the level 1. The level 1 is for those people who just haven't quite been able to meet those GCSE entry requirements and need a little bit more support.
Okay, everyone, I think that's the end of the session. If you have any further questions, please email course-inquiries@brooksbymelton.ac.uk. You can also apply now directly on our website, which is www.brooksbymelton.ac.uk. We'd like to thank Lydia, Laura, Sam and Carly, and also thank you to everyone for joining our live Q&A today. Enjoy the rest of our virtual open evening, and we hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.